This week, we're going to get really specific about the actual framework of your business. And we're going to clarify exactly what services or products you're going to offer and how you're going to structure those on your website. So let's focus on starting small and starting the right business. And if you've got a few different products or services that you're considering offering, and you're thinking like, I want to start with this, but I might also add that. Maybe like there's this other thing I could sneak in there. I'm going to advise you to start with whatever is going to be easiest for you, but also don't start 19 things at once because that's going to go down in flames. So let's focus on starting something small and simple, and then perfect that offering, learn from that initial experience, and take what you've learned from that equation to apply it to everything else that you're going to design for yourself in the future. So some questions that you're going to want to ask yourself to build the framework of your business are, what would be the easiest product or service for me to start with? If you want to start with a few products or services, how are you going to offer them? What will the structure be? How are you going to organize that on your website? How are you going to categorize them? So for example, let's say you're a photographer and you want to offer headshots and also like profile photos for dating apps, which is a thing. So how are you going to lay those services out? Are you going to package them together? Are you going to offer them separately? Is there going to be a price breakdown? How are you going to organize your navigation bar? What tabs do you need to have within that? How does your audience need to interact with your website? That's a really important thing to think about. What functions does it need to have? Do they need to fill out a form? Do they want to be able to search for something? Are they going to need to select filters for products or services? Do you need drop-down menus or a blog or a gallery? Basically, you want to think about what information is your prospective customer looking for, and how can you design your website so that it can best help them find that information. So let's also think about, what web hosting platform are you going to use? Is it going to be Shopify or Kajabi or Squarespace? And again, I would advise you to think about what everyone else in your industry is using. Next up, what's your domain name going to be? And are there any competing domain names that are similar to yours? What's the pricing going to be? If you're offering services, what are your rates going to be? If you're offering products, how do you want to price those? Do you want to offer bundles? How much is shipping? How much is delivery, etc.? Okay, so based upon your competitive analysis, what price range, business framework, and website layout feels right to you? A note here, if you feel hesitant to charge as much as your established competitors, it's okay to start with a beginner's rate, but it's really important that you value your time and energy. And you need to make sure that you're not giving away too much of your time and talent, and that price should change as you gain experience. For example, let's say you're an event designer and you're starting to get some gigs, but you don't have a ton of experience to sell yourself with, and you don't have a client list, and you're still working on your website. It's good to do some work for a discounted rate or for free, as long as you're building your brand, or you're learning something, or you're building marketing collateral and you're getting something out of it. But be careful with that and check in with yourself. Because if at some point you find yourself feeling a little resentful or taken advantage of, that feeling is your higher self. It's your conscience getting super pissed because you haven't been charging enough for your work. And your higher self is now demanding that you address that and respect your work and charge what you're worth. So let's answer this question. What should you charge for your product or service? And another good clarifying question would be, where is the money coming from in this revenue stream? Who is actually paying for this? Who are you actually selling to? What would a realistic price be for them? Is that price sustainable for them? Is it sustainable for you? Is it scalable? And how could you see your business growing and expanding? So the key to answering these questions would be market research. And that means doing some Googling to figure out how much your competitors are charging, or even better, sending out a survey to your community, your peers, and asking what services you offer they would be interested in and how much they would pay for that. You can do this by creating a really simple Google form and sending it to a group of peers you trust would actually give you honest feedback. And you can give them an opportunity to tell you what they want, tell you what they need. You can keep that form kind of open and not just yes or no questions. And you also want to make sure that you're not just asking your mom and your best friend, but, source a good group of people and try to keep it concise and compact. But just get that information so you can figure out what your prices should be.